This video is for you if you are one, passionate about mental performance coaching, and two, there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be as a mental performance coach. Let's dive right in. One question here that will be a focus of today or of this video is to CMPC or not CMPC. Should I get that certificate? Should you get it? Absolutely. That's the answer. You should absolutely get your CMPC if that's a good fit for you right now. That's some of the things we'll be exploring here. It's a strategic or tactical decision in your career, and I'm going to focus the running thread through this video will be at a little bit of a higher level, which is love. It's about love. What do you love? And in particular, what would you love to have happen? What's your mental performance coaching dream? I really invite you to presence that. Take a moment. It's like, oh, what would I love to have happen? Say a year from now, 3 years from now. You're doing it. You're being a mental performance coach. You're doing mental performance coaching. What is the scene? Get a snapshot. Oh, I'm there. How do I get there? And if you have a feeling of, oh, I would love that. That's what I want you to be. That's the filter through which I want you to be listening to this video. I've always loved this quote. Well, since I heard it when I was in grad school, follow your bliss and doors will open for you that wouldn't have opened for anyone else. This Joseph Campbell, Power of Myth. It's like, hey, wasn't even a door for someone, but it opened up for you because you were following your bliss, because you were doing what you loved. And in this video, I will get more tactical and look at these pros and cons of the CMPC. And I'll also look at my journey in mental performance, like my path to how I got to where I am now, which I'll share with you. And my latest creation is I have a possible door for you if you're still with me, you're passionate about mental performance coaching, and there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be. The bottom line, if you can only watch one slide or whatever this is on in this video, I would say, well, it depends. No program, and for one, it depends on your circumstances, your particular situation. No programs for development are mutually exclusive. I mean, I've got a lot of books around me about sports psychology. To me, it's sports psychology, but I go with mental performance because that's what is the word that's used now. And no programs are mutually exclusive. Oh, I did this, so I can't do this. I've got a guy in my coaching program who, it's a certain martial art. If you studied with this lineage, you can't be in the dojos or the training facility like this. Mental performance isn't like this. It's like yoga. I'm a certified yoga teacher. And if you go to a good yoga class and say, what style of yoga do you do? The person is apt to say, well, I studied several different ones and now I do my own. And that's how this ultimately goes, in my opinion. So your goal is to explore options, find a fit, like a resonance, a feeling of yes, like, oh, yes, this feels right to me. And right now, so your circumstances, your time, your money, what you need, so forth. So that's really the bottom line to this. So I'm Dr. Tom Hansen, and I've followed my bliss. I got, and let me show you this book. I was in a bookstore and I saw this on a bookshelf, Sports Psyching, and it was like a Reese's peanut butter cup for me. I love sports, I love playing sport, and I love psychology. It's like, oh my gosh, this was 1983. There's a field called sports psychology, and I've really been in it ever since. And doors have opened for me that, looking back, it's like, wow, how did that happen? Well, technically, I would say I'm following my bliss. Not blindly, or like foolishly, but this is what I love. This is what I wanted to do. And it's resulted in highlights such as writing Heads Up Baseball with Ken Ravizza back in 1993, writing Heads Up Baseball with Ken Ravizza Head 2.0 in 2018. Play Big, fictional story about learning the mental game. This one's my favorite. And Who Will Do What By When is a fictional story about learning accountability and commitment and how to build trust, particularly in the business world. But it's humans. It's about human interaction. I was also full-time with the New York Yankees, got fired by George Steinbrenner. And I've now, I was a tenured professor and head baseball coach at Skidmore College. And then I left that in the late 90s and have really been working in business, had my own business in one form or another since then. I have a lot of certifications. I don't have my CMPC. I'm certified in tapping. I'm certified in yoga, hypnosis, NLP, a number of different things. If I want to learn, I go after certification generally. And I wish I did have my CMPC. I didn't go through any grandfathering kind of thing. It came out long after I was out into the world. And I'm very grateful to ASP. I went to the first 13 ASP conferences. I remember being in a conference room and hearing, it's like, oh, there's going to start an association, applied association for sports. Like, oh, that sounds great. And at grad school, we drove and slept on Bob Rotella's floor and other places just to make it work. I just absolutely love ASP and love what they've done. This, by the way, I just researched this. The 1991, I think, the ASP conference, Dan Gould introduced Ken Ravizza. Dan Gould was my master's advisor at University of Illinois, and Ken I worked with quite a bit, as I mentioned. And so Ken was the speaker the night before, at the first night it started. Then Dan kicked it off. He was past president in Ballroom A, and then after that, after Dan in Ballroom A was me, mental aspects of hitting, talking about my doctoral dissertation that I did, talk about following my Bliss, how that all came about. But that'd be a different video. I don't want to go off on that. But my ASP roots run deep. And so let's return to the main question. What is your mental performance coaching dream? What would you love to have happen? So the CMPC is great for you. I'll go through some of the pros and cons of that. Qualifying for jobs in collegiate professional sports teams, military, government institutions that require or strongly prefer formal education. I'm going to build recognized third-party validated credibility as a mental performance consultant and join a global network of certified consultants. It's a really great and powerful group that are really doing an amazing job of creating this gold standard of training for a mental performance coach. So drilling down just a little bit more specifically, NCAA or collegiate departments have a strong preference. Usually the ads for them will say required or a strong preference for the CMPC. Professional sports teams often have that same, and the military, where CMPC or equivalent is strongly preferred, again, is a common language here. And military branches, people, it's awesome that the military is getting into the mental training, and they often will say this as well. Hospital-based sports medicine or rehab programs, major sports psychology practices or performance institutes like IMG, Premier Sports Psychology. In short, skip to the CMPC is a gateway credential for direct employment with organizations that serve large athletic populations, provide high-profile or government-funded services, or require credential validation for legal or insurance purposes. Steps to getting there: get a master's degree or a doctoral degree, complete the required coursework, fulfill 400 mentored experience hours. So you get a mentor and then you start your hours, and then you submit an application. It often takes a couple of months to get reviewed, and then you take the CMPC exam within 6 months of your approval. I did some flashcards online for this, and there's no way I could pass that. I mean, obviously without studying. If I studied, I'm sure I could, and I'm sure you could too if you studied. There's just a lot there that I didn't understand why you needed to know that, but I do. With my background, I do really like a strong theoretical base, and that there's nothing as practical as a good theory. So I'm all for that, for the theoretical aspects of it. My focus is, once I left academia, was very focused on, okay, what will help an athlete and what can help me keep this business going. So it has to work. I have to either be really good and useful, or I will have to get a job somewhere else. So there's a code of ethics. There's an annual fee. and complete ongoing continuing education. So that's that. And they've done an amazing job. I'm very pro ASP. It's a really good idea to do it. I recommend it if it's the right fit for you. What I've mentioned my journey and what I've come to now. Just the other day, I turned 63 years old. I have the Play Big, that's my company, Mental Performance Coach Certification. So why did I do that? Is because I love it. Ever since I held that book, 1983, I have loved the mental game. I've loved sports psychology, and I love teaching. So again, I'm always looking for these Reese's. I love Reese's peanut butter cups. Combine things. I love teaching. I love the creative process and then teaching it and helping other people follow their bliss and get what they want. So first and foremost, I wanted something that would be really fun for me to do and really rewarding, really like pull everything together to a capstone experience. You know, you get a master's or a PhD, there's a capstone experience. This is like, oh, let me pull together 40 years of what I love and what's the best and combine teaching with the mental game. So I also found that there's a gap. There's a gap in the training. It's like, you might be that's like, I love mental performance coaching and really want to work with athletes, coaches, and teams, but I don't need the CMPC right now. I'm not ready for that. I don't need it for what I want to do. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. And you feel hungry. It's like, oh, I want to do this, but I feel blocked or frustrated. Maybe you know tons about mental performance. I listen to podcasts. I've read these books, and it's like, but it's like there's a launch pad that you can't get off as a business, or, you know, certainly as a business. And even the CMPC, they may have a business component to it, but that isn't a focus. Well, I'll get to my focus in just a moment. So you might have a degree in certifications. There are people in my program. I've really quietly been running it for about a year. I've got a little over 40 people that are in it, and or many have gone through it, but it's a lifetime access. So they're in it. If whether they want to or not, they're still in it. Have a degree, and it's like, okay, well, I even have a master's. I have people in a master's program, people with a master's program, and even a certification. It's like, but I still really don't know what to do. I can't quite get going. I just feel like I should be able to do this, but I'm not. That's people. So whatever you want to experience as a mental performance coach, this program is designed to be the straightest path to it, and to get you from your current launch pad, like, oh, I really want to go. I want to go. I want to do this. And now I'm doing it. So it helps you go from I want to I am doing, and being really is the biggie, but I mean, that's another video. So the program, it's online hybrid format. You can start right away. It isn't waiting for anything. There's a lot of online, the content's online, and then you have access to me. So it's a straight line path. It's like, for me, it's like, what over 40 years has been the most helpful? What is the best of? It's like putting together my best of album and turning it into a course, and then giving you that content, giving that system that you can take it and run with it. And that's what gets you into this orbit. That's the content, but it's the beingness that needs to go with it. Coach you right on through, mentoring, and then a community of like-minded peer group. So that's really the gist of it. Pros to that, it's like speed to impact. You can start, you really ought to, the first week, you ought to be sitting down with an athlete and going through, doing an exercise that I give you. And then you're off to the races. It's a transformation over information, which means it's a self-improvement program designed, because this is the thing. People will say, I've interviewed over 60 people about what would be great, or what would be a great course to have. And they want a system, but they're missing it. Actually, the thing is, I want to be, it's a ground of being more than it is the system. Yes, it's great to have a system. It acts as something. It's like learning to ride a bike. You teach, if you've ever taught a person how to ride a bike, like your own son or daughter, you run alongside them and then let go. And this is hey, I'll run alongside you, give you the bike, and I'll run alongside you, and then I'll let go, and off you go. Because now you're doing it. You have balance, or now I have the being and I have a system. Here I go. So And then you keep going, like me, you get another certificate, you get certified in this, certified in that, because you love it. And a mentorship and community is very practical and applied. If you want to create a business, you can do that, and I'll do that same bike ride thing with you about that. It does build your resume for the CMPC. The mentorship hours don't count as mentorship out with me. I'm going to look into that, but it doesn't at this point. It builds a resume for that. The cons about my program is that it's not for institutional jobs, at least not yet. It'd be cool and a nice add-on, but doesn't have the weight of the CMPC behind it. And it requires self-direction. It's flexible format, means you drive your own progress. Great for self-starters, harder if you need the external. It's like if you I got to go to class because I have class Tuesday. Then if that's you and you can do that, then this isn't as good a fit for you. It's really for people who love mental performance work, have a hunger and passion for helping athletes unlock their potential. It isn't about your resume. I've got quite, from an anesthesiologist to someone who's done it for 30 years, to someone who played in the major leagues, who, all kinds of backgrounds. Nor is the current position. I have psychologists that want to get better, athletic trainers, counselors. It's like, what matters is that you love this work and you're ready to transform yourself into the coach athletes need. There's so much need out there, more than ever. People need this kind of work because it not only helps them in their performance but on the field or whatever their sport they're doing, but in their overall life. You're really looking to, I want to make a huge difference in these people's lives, not just their performance. That's what it would be. Let me run through this pretty quickly. But it's like, okay, by the end of this experience, by my course, you'll have embodied the Play Big system and be able to say I want you to be able to say this. I have a simple, clear, and powerful system for mental performance coaching that works in any setting. I'm confident in my ability to help any athlete at any level perform freely and consistently. I'm skilled in multiple tools and methods that create real change on the field and in life. I have a defined offer. If you want to go into business, I have a defined offer and a program package that reflects my value and attracts the right client. So you get set up as a business if that's what you want to do. If you want to be on the field and just be better there, then you'll have a project at the end that helps you do that. I'm part of a supportive community of coaches who share ideas, feedback, and wins. I've embodied the Play Big principles, including commit, clarify, condition, compete, in my own life and coaching. I have a pyramid, maybe I'll get to in another video, that is like John Wooden's pyramid, that has different boxes in it that become, like I said, I like theory, having a structure so that you're working freely inside of that. It's got to be extremely useful. And then I'm certified as a Play Big mental performance coach, ready to serve athletes, teams, organizations with excellence. Back to this first slide, or the slide I said it was most important. I would say explore options. Look for a fit. I went looking around and I wrote letters, physically wrote letters. It was 1983. And wrote to different schools to find, hey, should I go into psychology or should I go into PE? And I ended up going into PE because, like, hey, do you want to work with people in psychology that have issues and you want to help them deal with those issues? Or greatness? There's a gap between where I am and where I want to be. I want to be great. It's like, I'll take that. And because that resonated with me, that was my bliss. But I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm saying, well, it is in terms of what feels right to you. Learn and do then what feels right. I want to find a resin. Oh yeah, this is great. Yes, right. And deals with right now with your circumstances. Burn the boats sometimes isn't, if you know that story, isn't off. I mean, sometimes isn't the best way to go. So a next step, if you feel that pull, what I'm talking about, it's like, yeah, that could be. Let's have a conversation. I call it a fitness conversation with me, and we'll discuss whether this program is right for you right now or not. Because again, I set this up. This is what I love, and what I love the most then is when someone is all in, they're gung-ho, hungry, like, yes, this is what I want to do. And they're coming in, we're interacting questions, and they'll I'm going to work with a team, meet with a team on Tuesday. What should I do? It's like, oh, well, let's jump on a call, or let's here's some tools, or I'm working with this athlete and this is like that. There's a passion back and forth. That to me is fun. As I said, I want to do this because I really enjoy it. Yes, I want to help people. So number one, I got into it because I love it. So because when you love what you do, when you follow your bliss, doors will open for you that wouldn't have opened for anyone else. You'll even find the doors. So again, I wish you the best. Let me know how I can help you along your way. Maybe the course right now, if my course is a good fit. Maybe it's like, no, I'm all in to go get my master's, or whatever you need to do to get your CMPC, because that's what I want to do. But again, they're not mutually exclusive. I actually have people that are following both, or people that have actually multiple certifications, and then they're like me, that's just thirsty and never get just keep wanting to get better. So again, you can click a link there to jump on my calendar, and we'll spend a little bit of time talking about where you're at and see if it's a good fit. That'd be great. If not, I'm pretty confident I'd be able to help you anyway. But if not, at least we'll enjoy it. So check that out, and I look forward to hearing about your mental performance adventure. No matter which path you go on, which is your own, be your own path. No matter what it looks like, I really encourage you to get out there and play big.